Hello, hello. Welcome to my cooking class. It's Jacqueline McGrath here. It's 3 o'clock. It's Thursday in Pacific time, and I'm ready to show you a great little recipe that I think you're going to enjoy. A lot of places are experiencing a lot of heat, and I was considering going out onto the barbecue, but then I thought, don't want to be around the heat. I want to show you, because I usually find that when it's really hot out, I actually like having something refreshing and light and cool. So today's cooking class, let me know where you are coming in from. Hey Carolyn, nice to see you. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to introduce you to Antipasta Mediterranean salad using some of our ingredients. And if you were watching my website last week, you would have noticed that there was a promotion. Every week we're having a spotlight special, and last week it was Get Your Greek On. Now, what that had in it was our Greek salad dressing. Now, just so you know, it's still available. And the current one right now, go check it out. We've got a really, really fun one going on this week as well, which is Tex-Mex. So stay tuned. I'm going to come up with some great recipes for you to use that product with. So let's get started today with our Antipasta Mediterranean salad. And what I'm going to do is I'm just grabbing things out of my fridge, things that are very inexpensive that I believe you probably have kicking around, or when you're going to the farmer's market, you can grab. So I've got a cutting board here. I'm going to use my ceramic knife, and of course, this is a zucchini. I love zucchini. But one of the things about zucchini is it's quite bland. So we're actually going to marinate it. So I'm cutting it on the diagonal just so it looks a little prettier. So do whatever you want. If you want to chop it, fine. If you want to slice it, fine. I personally like doing the diagonal. And because our, our zucchini is quite bland, I actually am going to flavor it. And I'm going to cook it in the oven. So why am I cooking it in the oven? Well, because I'm going to put some chickpeas in it. We all know that when we're actually making a salad, we should make sure that we've got protein in it. And so beans is really important. You could actually use salami or anything like that if you have it in the house. I tend to not have that. So I want to instead marinate and release some of the liquid that's in my zucchini. So we've got zucchini here. I actually had some chickpeas. I've opened a whole can, but because I want to have a substantial salad, because this is not going to be a side, it's going to be a main for my husband and I wanted to just grab a few chickpeas, so about a third of the can, drained and rinsed. I'm going to just dump them in the bowl here. And I'm going to marinate them a little bit and put them in the oven. So just put a little bit of oil. You don't need a lot. And then I'm going to grab our Greek salad dressing. Going to use our 4-in-1 spoon, which I find is so incredibly amazing. And I'm going to put in approximately, roughly about 2 teaspoons of our Greek dressing. So as you can see, I'm not making a dressing with it yet. And the dressing that I will be making with it will be a little bit different. Okay, if you are one of the lucky ones that has SPG, and that stands for salt, pepper, garlic. Hey, Allison, good to see you. Salt, pepper, garlic, great. However, if you don't have this and now you're saying, oh, wah. I can't make this salad, I don't have SPG. Grab your salt or your pepper grinder. Okay, don't miss out on making this fabulous little salad. Okay, so I am going to grab about a teaspoon of this, and I do love having the garlic. I think everything Italian or Mediterranean needs to have a lot of garlic in it. And I'm just going to toss this a little bit, making sure I've got all the little pieces covered, and then I'm going to put it on a baking sheet. Now, I'm not going to actually cook this and have you wait and watch for this to come out. I've actually done the TV version. But you can see that it's got some nice coloring. So what we're going to do now, we're going to grab our baking sheet. If you don't already have one of these baking sheets, grab it. This is a perfect example of why you want the quarter sheet pan. This is half the size of probably every pan that you've got for cookies right now. But what I love is we have these silicone food safe liners, which makes your cleanup effortless and nothing sticks, because you can throw this in the dishwasher, toss it in the sink, super easy to clean. So we'll just dump this out. And just make sure that you're separating your zucchini, because we want to make sure that they're not stacked. I want to dry them out so I get lots of flavor, because I want this salad to taste super yummy. I know my husband just had surgery this week, and the doctor had said to him, lots of fiber with vegetables and fruit. So, hello. I got to make this taste super good so I can get him back to healthy, because I'm not a very good nursemaid. Yeah, I said that. Okay. So anyways, my oven, as I said, 450 degrees. Make sure that they're spread out, and there we go. Great flavor. Be right back. Okay, just so you know, I set the timer for 20 minutes. I find 20 minutes is the perfect amount. Hey, Linda, good to see you, and Audrey. Okay, what are we going to do next? Well, I want to make sure that we have a really good salad, and I want to make my dressing now. And just like turkey dinner, it's really important that you have a sequential way of making your salad, because we want our dry mix to get some really good flavor. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab my same old bowl, and the directions for making the salad dressing are on here. If you wanted to do a traditional Greek dressing, I'm doing something a little bit different. Of course, right? That's why you come to these cooking classes in the first place. So we've got some olive oil here. If you don't have olive oil, you can use any oil that you have. I have red wine vinegar. Now, if you don't have red wine vinegar, here's a substitution: lemons and your citrus press. I actually have a little bit of red wine vinegar, not a lot. I have probably enough for 2 more salads, and I do love my red wine vinegar. Even when I'm making my Greek, and it does say red wine vinegar on here, I quite often substitute with lemon, but for today, it's this all the way. Now, I had talked previously on how important it is to have a couple of these, because you're going to maybe have liquids and dries, and this is a perfect example, and I will have some fun food facts. Now, the instructions on here roughly say to make the amount that I'm roughly going to do, we're going to use about 2 tablespoons. And what I love, as you can see, our 1 tablespoon measure actually fits in every single Epicure jar. Now, if you do find that it's a little snug, you'll notice I usually put my thumb on the side and pull it out so it's not flying across the room. I've had that experience, trust me. Okay. And how am I going to make this a little bit different? Well, I am going to include something that's in our Tex-Mex, which is in our Spotlight Special right now. Go grab it. It's discounted pricing. I just want a little kick to this, not a lot. So I'm just going to grab my 4-in-1 spoon. I'm going to flip it around so I've got 1.25 cups, and I am going to use about 1/4 teaspoon of our Poco Picante salsa. Not making salsa either. Can you see how versatile Epicure is? And the last thing that I'm going to add is our honey mustard, because I want a little bit of a zip, but I also want some sweetness. Remember, my husband's not doing well, so we've got to fix this up. So using a new spoon, because I've already had this in my dry, and of course it's not cleaned right now. This is a perfect example, as I said, on why you want to have a couple of these. I'm going to roughly put about 1 tablespoon of this. Now, I should note, we do have a knife. This is our silicone knife, and this is perfect. I definitely want you to grab one of these. Our silicone knife is perfect for getting, right, when we go into baking, molasses, mustard, any of those products that might stick to the inside of your spoon. So this is the perfect example. All right, Next, got my little mini whisk, and I'm just going to whisk this up so that the flavors start blooming or start getting some intensity to it, because the oil and the vinegar are going to moisten the flavors and make it really nice. Now you'll notice it's sort of like a creamy dressing, not a Greek dressing at all. How does it taste? Well, remember, you should always taste to season, especially if you're doing it for the first time or you've never tried it before. Yeah, a little tangy. It's got a little bit of a zip. Fabulous. He's going to love this, and so am I. So we're going to grab our bowl, and we're going to start adding a few ingredients that I think would be really good Mediterranean-wise. Cherry tomatoes, of course. And because I know it's summer and quite often we wear white, I like making sure that my tomatoes are cut. How many of you have had a nice, cute little sundress on and then you go and eat a salad out and they have a whole tomato and you stick your fork in it and it explodes? I hate that. I've been a casualty one too many times. So make sure, for your friends and for yourself and for the sake of not having to take out stains, cut your tomatoes. Using this ceramic knife, I just want to get some nice thin slivers of red onion. And some red onion can be really intense. So, you know, be mindful of that. You might want to smell your onion and see. I mean, I can usually tell if the onion's really strong or not just by cutting it. You may tear up. But I wanted the color. Now, what else are we going to put in here? And let's start with some fun food facts. We're going to put in some artichokes. Okay, artichokes, are you guys aware that artichokes is an unbloomed flower and it's part of the sunflower family? Yes, actually it goes back to the Mediterranean area and the Canary Islands, and actually it's considered one of the oldest food there is. There's indications in Greek history that goes back to 77 AD. Yes, they talk in literature about artichokes. So artichokes that you find can be found in water, they can be found in oil. If they are really laden in oil, I like rinsing them. If you can find them in water, those are the ones that are probably better for a salad. But you can quarter them. Hopefully you can see, I'll show you in a minute. But if they're big pieces like this, I want bite-sized pieces. So take your knife and cut it into sizes that you believe will fit onto a fork without you having to fuss so much. So we've got our artichokes. Just gonna move this plate a little bit. I don't think I'm cutting up anything more. We're going to add, I have some peppers in here and I do like a little bit of heat. So these are just banana peppers. I'm probably not going to use all of them, but I do love the color. We've got olives, right? No Mediterranean antipasto salad would be done without olives. You can use any olives that you like. And if you don't have olives and you don't like them, don't worry about it. Now, bocconcini. These are little pearl bocconcini. And bocconcini are, well, they're again, like zucchini, there's not a lot of flavor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle on some SPG in here. Get a little bit of flavor. Of course, their salad dressing is going to go on here as well. But I'm just going to put the lid on this. If you happen to be one of the lucky ones, these are our prep bowls. Right now we don't have any more, but I'm hoping we'll have something down the road. But I'm just giving it a good shake. So yes, I love our prep bowls. So you can see I've got some flavoring on here. Drop that in. I've cut up my onions, my tomatoes, And because we want protein, I'm not sure if you have these, but these are butter beans. Love them. And I've got the remaining chickpeas. Now, chickpeas, and I want to talk about salads here really quickly. Chickpeas are actually really, really good for you. They're an antioxidant, but they're high in fiber and high in protein. And they're a really good source of folate. So if you are expecting, or if you have family members that are expecting, chickpeas are the number one thing you should grab. Chickpeas, actually, if you roast them and grind them, some people use them for, are you ready for this? Coffee. Yes, there's some people that actually prefer, not me, but ground, well, maybe I should try it before I say that, but ground roasted chickpeas can be actually made into flour. Or sorry, not flour, coffee. See, I need a coffee. Okay, so I have my zucchini as well. So the other one's still in the oven. We got about another 10 minutes. But this is my zucchini that I had cooked earlier. So I'm just going to put my zucchini in here. And my chickpeas, after 20 minutes, oops, I want to show you. These are little morsels of yum. So they're a little crunchy. I like 20 minutes. Time-wise, and a lot of people would normally maybe put, oh, I don't know, bread or something like that in here, but I would find it gets soggy. So we're grabbing my salad dressing here. I'm now just going to pour this over top, and we're going to toss it. This is our saute spoon. If you haven't already noticed, all of our utensils, which used to be sold in a collection, are now sold individually. So if you've been waiting to get this saute spoon, because maybe you've already got one, this one I use so frequently. I love having that one. And then I love, of course, our grip and grabs. So I'm just going to toss this a little bit, making sure that I've got all that flavoring coming in. I've got the bocconcini, the peppers. So what else? I'm going to give you one more fun food fact before we close off for today. Did you know that there's 3 different types of salads out there? Are you ready for this? So let's guess. What type of salads are there? The basic ones? Well, we have tossed salad. That would be, of course, our Caesar salad, you know, our standard green salad. We actually have salads that are actually created in organized patterns, and these would be like your poke bowls and things like that. Cobb salad would be that, so they're regimented. And then we have bound salad. How many of you know what bound salad would be? Well, that would be your potato salads. So folks, this would be, what would you think it would be of the 3 different varieties? Tossed? Would it be organized, or would it be bound? Of course, it would be a tossed salad. So there is your Antipasto Mediterranean salad. Make sure that you go and grab your Greek out of your dressing, out of your pantry, and you don't just use it as a dressing. You can mix it up, try it in different ways. Of course, if you like adding a little bit of zip, throw in our poco picante. Doesn't have to be a salsa. And make sure that you grab your SPG. I actually think, well, as you can see, I go through a lot. So thank you so much for watching today's cooking class. Come back again next Thursday. Good grief, who knows what I'm going to be making next week. But bon appetit. I do believe that you're going to absolutely love this. It's going to taste very good, and of course, very refreshing for a hot summer day. Take care, everyone. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.